the point, informative, entertaining, and protecting the Second Amendment. Welcome back to Elfster's Rifles and Reloading, and getting back to you guys with yet another part of this series, the FX120i and AUTOTRICKLER V3 combo unit that I hooked up from Data Weighing Systems. And I figured I'd have you guys come on this journey with me in regards to getting these Area 419 upgrades from Data Weighing Systems, unboxing them, getting them installed and using them in regards to dropping some H4350. And I kind of touched base with this in regards to, in my opinion, right out of the gate, you should at least get the clear top lid from Area 419. And I got that from Data Weighing Systems also. And if you want to see every single speck of powder drop out of that trickle tube, in my opinion, it's absolutely worth it. And at a bare minimum, I would at least get this clear top lid added to the cart right away with not only the FX120i, but the AUTOTRICKLER V3 combo. You know, these other three upgrades, are they absolutely needed? And most likely not. I've kind of proven already in the previous parts of this series that you can get very consistent powder drops from this existing setup. But if you really want to pimp out your ride, you want to turn this Cadillac into Lamborghini, these upgrades might be for you. And you can actually purchase these individually from Data Weighing Systems, or if you're about to make this combo purchase anyway, especially with a clear top lid, it might not hurt to just get these out of the cart and get them out of the way. But enough of the BS talk, let's get this going. Now, if this is the first video you've ever seen on my channel, especially of this series, I would highly recommend checking out this playlist on my channel. You'd be pretty hard pressed to find more information on the A&D FX20i scale and the AUTOTRICKLER.com V3 combo unit that I hooked up from Data Weighing Systems. And man, I tell you, these guys at Data Weighing Systems, their customer service is superb. They are an absolute pleasure to work with. But in this series, we did a live unboxing, getting that box directly from Data Weighing Systems, opening it up and checking it out. And the second part here, on an edited video, I did the initial setup just to show you what you get out of the box and get the ball rolling. And in part 3 here, we got the clear top lid, which I also got from Data Weighing Systems. And I showed you guys my specific mods and settings to get this honed down. So you get amazingly accurate drops and they're crazy fast. And I also did some more live events here actually showing these settings and mods in use and how fast and accurate they are in a no BS unedited setting. So like I said, if you haven't seen any part of this series, definitely check that out. And if this is the very first video you've ever seen of my channel, I just want to kind of touch base with you on one of the parts here that I got the A&D FX120i lab scale itself. Let me zoom in here. I got that for $475 and the combo unit powder drop and trickler for $490. Now, before I unbox these, I just want to touch base on the price of these from Data Weighing Systems on the clear top lid, the base, the cup, and the tray. Now, at least as of 9/24/2020, they're selling the lid for $65. They do sell an auto throw straw replacement, which I didn't get that. They're currently out of stock, but just to show you guys, it is $40. The base for the trickle unit is $75. The cup, which is $70, and the tray, which is $75. So let's get these unboxed and installed. Let's start with the tray here first and foremost. So I'm gonna try my best to do this with the camera in front of me. Oh, look at that. Nice little Area 419 sticker. So this is the tray itself. So just a quick show you guys what this looks like. So it's all billet aluminum. Let's get this installed. All right, so I'm going to remove my existing trickler, put this shroud off to the side, move my pan, stock tray, and this should just pop right off. And Oh, easy as that. I wonder if you can angle this. So it looks like you cannot angle this. Well, you can go to the direct right, direct left. It doesn't twist or turn or directly forward. So just to let you know, if you're trying to do this, something like this, it's a no-go. You can actually see this. I can spin this until it drops into position. And it looks like with my existing cutout, still plenty of room. Now, as for the cup, I guess a cup's a cup, but I figured some of you guys might be interested in seeing this unboxing and initial impressions. Really high quality, all billet aluminum. I'm actually pretty surprised with how light this is. Here's actually the stock cup, glass cup, and I would say they weigh just about the same. Matter of fact, I'll weigh the two for you guys to show you the difference. But yeah, really impressed with the craftsmanship on this. It looks like they have the handle screwed on here with a little bit of a screw. But yeah, let's get this on the tray. Now, a couple things I can notice right out of the gate in regards to this pan and the tray. You can see there's like a circular indentation of the tray itself, the exact same diameter as the bottom of this pan. And regardless if you're pushing against the left side of the fence or the right side, you can notice it's eventually going to lock into place of that tray. As a matter of fact, I'll try and do this slow so some of you guys can see this. And it's going to get a positive lockup every single time. And another thing I notice is the length of the handle. Man, is that ever nice. The fact that that sticks out so far. It's sticking outside of the wind shroud. I don't feel like I'm reaching in like the stock glass pan. The handle's kind of short, probably be somewhere around here. It's physically inside the shroud. I got to, put my fingers inside the shroud, then pull it out. Where with this new updated pan, it physically sticks out of the shroud itself, and man, is that ever nice. Being that I have a new tray on here, I really need to recalibrate this unit. So I have this 100 gram, this isn't grains, this is gram calibration weight here, which represents 1,543.24 grains. In order to get this calibrated, I gotta hit the cal button, press and hold that till it says cal 0. Press print once. Definitely want to make sure you don't breathe or blow on the unit while you're doing this. It's asking for the 100 gram weight. I'm going to try and put this into the middle as best as I possibly can. So somewhere's right about there. Hit print once more. At this point, you can power off the unit or at least put it in the standby. You can see that little arrow represents standby. Let's take this off, turn the unit back on. So this represents 1,543.24. So let's put this into the middle as best as we possibly can. And there you go. So I'm going to zero this out. So I'm actually curious to see how much the new pan weighs against the old stock glass pan. So the old stock glass pan is 800.28 versus the Area 419 aluminum billet pan of 749.20. So this actually weighs less. So on to the trickler base. Let's open this bad boy up. And man, talk about a block of aluminum. Holy smokes, is that thing ever heavy. Like I said, it is just one massive, solid, heavy block of aluminum. There's really nice rubber feet, 3 of them on the bottom here. So I'll show that to you here. And they seem really grippy. That's really nice. So it's definitely not going to be sliding around. And plus there's this really nice adjustment knob on here now. So let me see if I can focus in here for you guys. So you can lefty loosey, righty tighty. So that is really nice. And man, that is really, really impressive. Let's get this installed. Set that off the side with a trickle tube. Carefully remove this. So there's a little Allen set screw here on the pulley wheel. Man, is that ever on there? There must be some Loctite on that for sure. Carefully remove these screws. Carefully set these off to the side. All right, so pull out the motor, which should expose these screws on the bottom. And of course, these screws are smaller than this one. Let me get these out. Man, those are going to be fun putting back in. Oh my gosh. All right, so obviously these are the back here with the adjustment wheel. And this is the back, this is the front. So this sits on there like so. I got a feeling this is gonna suck because this thing barely fits in there. Those three were a tight fit, especially that one way in the back there. All right, so snug, but not too tight to where you strip them out. All right, just like that. Well, I noticed with this new base, I'm gonna have to make this slot in my plexiglass windscreen a little bit lower. You can see it is way too high. So I'm gonna have to definitely remove a good solid, let me see here. I don't think I'll ever pitch it that far forward. I'm always most likely going to be pitching it up. So one issue I'm running into here is they're just not giving you enough adjustment on this rear leg. And so I have this screwed all the way in as far as I can possibly get it. And you can notice, at least with the settings that I found works best in this series, quarter turn, right there. The bubble just slid right off the level, and that's where you stop. Is even with it screwed all the way in, you can notice on the bubble level, is that bubble is not sliding off. Matter of fact, I have to increase this about another 1/8 of an inch for that bubble level to slide off. And I guess I'm not totally sure why they didn't give you more adjustment in comparison to the stock one. With the stock one, you got all the adjustment in the world. They're not giving you enough, in my opinion, adjustment to get this pitched up correctly, so in order to get consistent drops. So I ground off about 1/8 of an inch off this rear nut on the top side. So I think that should give me all of the adjustment that I need in order to get this to go right off of level. So you can see right now it's all the way out. So if I screw this all the way in, that 1/8 of an inch that I took off the top side of that nut, you can kind of see it here. I'll try and zoom in for you guys. That allowed this to screw more in to give it more pitch back, and that is more than enough than I'll ever need. So you can see if I screw this back out.
Let me try and zoom in here for you guys. If I screw this out, I can get back to level.
And if I screw this all the way back in, I can get this to slide right off level and even past that some. So that is more than sufficient than what I need. And the back side, the bottom side of this billet block still clears the table, and not by much. Let me clip you guys out here. We're talking a couple business cards thick there, but that's all I need. And like I said, that's at the very bottom. It's more than enough to get this to slide off level. And I'm probably going to be somewhere right
about, let me get this back to level here.
So that's about level. So I'm probably going to be somewhere right about there. And I still have clearance on the table. Looking good. I'm actually going to spin this backwards, not forwards. We'll see how this works. Got this on the highest RPM. I'm just going to melt right through it. And there we go. And I just got to clean up some of these burrs. All right, I think I'm just going to clean these edges up here a little bit, and I think they'll be more than suitable. So yeah, not too bad. You know, it's definitely not CNC'd, but it looks even. So just to prove that you can do this with the spade bit on a high RPM, turning it backwards and just melting right through it, it's definitely not as good as my friend's CNC job, but I think this is good enough until I can get a replacement panel and have them re-CNC a new slot for me. That should work. All right, let's get this filled up with some H4350. All right, my friend, so I got approximately about 1/8 of an inch ground off this adjustment nut. Matter of fact, I went as far as to epoxy in the adjustment nut screw. I found that screw to back off once in a while, which made it really annoying. And to make sure that that screw doesn't back off the nut, I epoxy that into place. So it should be good to go there. Now this is pretty much the extreme pitch down. This is damn near touching the pan in the front now. So this would pretty much be the extreme of what this would be. And let me focus in on the bubble level here, pitching down, which I probably never do this setting whatsoever. And this really is all dependent on the type of powder that you're dropping, but at least for H4350 and Varget, I found this setting, as in the previous parts of the series, to have this pointing or pitched up ever so slightly to the point where the bubble level slides just off level. So I'm going to screw this in, and we are going to adjust this so it's pitched up. So right about there, you can see that the bubble level is just about perfect, right at level. And we're going to keep on going past that till it's pitched up and that bubble level slides just off level. So pay attention to that bubble and the bubble level, and you'll notice the second it slides off level, that's when I'm going to stop, which I previously couldn't do before till I modified this nut. So right about there, and it doesn't take much to turn this, so right about there. The second that slides just off level, I'll probably back this off a little bit and should be good to go. And with my settings, if you guys have watched this series, at least without a reducer, I like to go approximately 1.7 grains under my powder drop, and then I trickle off the rest. Okay, so we have everything set up here, and I have 42.2 grains of H4350 set in the Bluetooth app. So let's just drop 5 quick powder drops and just test out this new setup. So just to show that this bubble level is still just off level, and I'll zoom in on that here. So that looks good. So let me take this off, zoom back out, and let's do 5 quick powder drops. So as long as we're within 0.02 of our target weight of 42.2, I'm happy with that. So that looks good for the first drop. So within 0.02, the second drop. So within 0.02 for the third drop. Man, these are blazing fast. So within 0.02 for the fourth drop, and our last and final drop here. And within 0.02, so that looks really, really good. So let me stop the app here. So as I pull this pan off, I notice that this weighs 749.20 grains, and I'm keeping an eye on this pan as I pull this off to make sure that it's consistently coming up with that 749.20 as I'm dropping powder. And that looks really good. Everything I've tested so far seems to be consistent, and I don't see any drifting. And something else that I noticed, at least what I've dropped so far off camera, and obviously these last 5, is there is no splash out. I don't see any splash out, and that looks really, really good. So I've been able to use this new setup here for a couple days, and I'm really impressed. You know, other than the little hiccup of the new base for the trickler, having to grind off that adjustment nut roughly about 1/8 of an inch, at least for my own personal settings, I just like to pitch that up a little bit more. It might be different for you. You might not have to do that. It really depends on the type of powder that you're dropping and your own personal settings. But at least for me, and what I've shown you guys in the previous parts of the series, I just had to get that done. And I'm glad I was able to get this to work out, because the base, especially its heaviness, being able to dampen out those vibrations, I think it's a definite bonus. The pan and the tray, in my opinion, is it absolutely needed? No. But does it make it a much more enjoyable experience? 100%. And like I mentioned in early parts of the series, the clear top lid, in my opinion, is an absolute must. To see those individual specks of powder drop out, I think you really, really need to have that, especially if you're going for the ultimate precision. Say like it drops 0.02 under your target weight, and you want to just spin that off for one kernel to get it absolutely perfect. If you're an absolute perfectionist like myself, to have that clear top lid is a real bonus. Well, if you're interested in these upgrades, get a hold of Data Weighing Systems. Matter of fact, I'll splice in a picture of their phone number right here. And they're a great group of people to work with. Just give them a call, send them an email. They'll send you back a quote. You can get that order placed. As long as they have it in stock, they should be able to get that out to you right away. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this part of the series, and I will most likely do another live event showing this exact setup in action in a no BS unedited setup, where you guys can log in and chat with me live, especially if you got those questions, if you're thinking about getting this set up. And I highly, highly recommend working with those guys at Data Weighing Systems, because like I said, they're really easy to get along with, and their customer service is absolutely amazing. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this part of the series, and there's more parts of the series yet to come. If you enjoy my content, you enjoy my videos, scratch my back, and I'll continue to scratch your back with this amazing content by not only subscribing, like, share, hit that notification bell. When you hit that notification bell, hit notification all. Become a Patreon. It helps out more than you know, and I will see you guys in the next video.